Hi friends, and our time together in this video. I'm comparing side by side the Kerry Tenor D, that's a low D, and the James Dominic low D. And I'm doing this because, well, a friend in our community asked if I'd compare them head to head. And I'm happy to compare whistles head to head for you. If I've already compared it and I'm happy with the comparison, I'll send you the link. If I haven't compared them head to head yet, we're going to dive right in, like today. And because it's the kind of thing I wish I had thought about doing when I was shopping for my first whistle. I looked for people that compared whistles, but I never said to somebody, hey, would you compare this whistle with that whistle? And I want to give you that opportunity. You know, it's what community does for each other, right? We help each other. So the Kerry Tenor D and the James Dominic low D. And both lovely whistles. I'll tell you about them, I'll play them, and I'll tell you where you can buy one and how much they are at today's exchange rate, May the 21st, 2025. So, the James Dominic is non-tunable. The Kerry Tenor D is non-tunable. This is a polymer body. Narrow curved windway, and probably not going to get any clogging. Traditional hole spacing. The Kerry Tenor D, aluminum body, traditional hole spacing, molded head, also non-tunable, a flat narrow windway, also not going to experience clogging. And so I will talk about what some of those factors mean in tone, and you'll hear it actually. So first, I'd like to play a scale. I'll do that. We'll go James Dominic and then the Kerry. And after the scale, I probably will break into a little bit of Somewhere Over the Rainbow, just cause it's what I've been doing lately. All right, that's the James Dominic. Same thing on the Kerry Tenor D. That's the scale and a smidge of Somewhere Over the Rainbow on both of these lovely whistles. As you could tell, I hope, the James Dominic is quieter in volume than the Kerry. But the Kerry is not a loud whistle. So that means the Dominic is good for sitting quietly around the house if somebody's in the next room and you don't want to disturb them and playing quietly. But you can play the Kerry more quietly as well. It's just that the Kerry can play louder. Now, you saw the ease with which I played even the highest notes on both of these whistles. Neither whistle has so much back pressure, as they describe it, that you have to really work hard to learn to play the top of the whistle. They play bottom to top very freely and easily. That's not going to be your challenge. learning the breath pressure to learn to play from the bottom to the top. I think that is easier with these whistles, but that doesn't mean they're like traditional easy blowers in that they're both breath hogs. Neither of these whistles is a breath hog. You're going to be able to play longer phrases on both whistles, and that's an excellent thing. Good to know, good to have. So there's a fascinating compromise in the whistle world between an easy player that requires a lot of air and a whistle that doesn't require a lot of air but is hard to play. These sit kind of in the middle. So let me play Bonaparte Crossing the Alps on both of these whistles, and then I'll play If I Was a Blackbird, and I'll talk a little bit about the tone kind of as we go. And then we'll wrap up by telling you where you could get one and how much they are. All right, we're going to follow the pattern, James Dominic, and then Kerry Tenor D. Bonaparte Crossing the Alps. Forgive me, I'm going to ignore the repeats in the interest of time. Oops, I almost dropped it. Same thing, Bonaparte Crossing the Alps without repeats on the Kerry Tenor D. Now, you'd be excused for saying, hey, I think I should have both of these in my group of whistles. So, thinking about the tone, I think because of the aluminum, well, I can't say just the aluminum. I think the Kerry may be a little warmer in tone, but they're really pretty similar, and I think you'll just need to listen. It's really hard to say a clear distinction. I need to play just a smidge more. And then maybe see if I can wrap my head around describing a tone difference. One of the primary differences is in volume. I think it took me a hair longer to learn to play the James Dominic well. And I think that is just, it took me a little longer. It didn't take a long time. It took me longer to learn to play the second octave in some of my much more expensive whistles. So it took a little while to get used to it. And the primary difference, apart from the make and the manufacturer components of them, is that volume difference. So let me play If I Was a Blackbird on each, and I'll listen better while I'm playing and see what I can come up with there. But again, you listen and see what you can come up with. First, If I Was a Blackbird on the James Dominic. All right. Same thing on the Kerry Tenor D. Maybe the Kerry's a little brighter because of the aluminum, but they're both pretty warm, kind of nice, lovely tone on both of these whistles. I think you'd play both of them longer than the beginning of your journey. If you're just starting off learning the whistle, I've recommended both as options for you to consider. If you're after I want a low D whistle to start to learn to play, buy one of these. Don't feel bad whichever you chose. I think both manufacturers, I've communicated with both manufacturers, are amazing people. Kerry Whistles has a long history dating back to the origin of the low D, and I apologize, James, I've not had a conversation with you about your long history, but he has a depth of knowledge and he's easy to communicate with, and so I think two great options if you want an inexpensive low D to get started with. I'm sorry I can't wrap my mind around a good tone difference description. If you know, please comment. Please, I need people to comment because they play so freely and easily, both of them. So the James Dominic you pick up from his website, and I'll put a link. This is $76, today's exchange rate. Remember, this is May of 2025. And there is another option he has that's pretty spiffy, and it has a swivel where you could swivel the sixth hole if you need that option. But that's $87, and the Kerry Tenor D is $67, and I'll put a link to the Kerry website as well. So if money's an issue, the Kerry's less expensive. If you want to get used to an aluminum whistle, Kerry, if you love the swivel idea, pay another $9 for the Dominic. It's hard for me to decide. Oh, the sun just came out. Isn't that lovely? We've had a lot of rain. So both great whistles. If you own both, I would love for you to comment, because my goal here was to just share both, and I hope that's very helpful. My friends, I hope my indecisiveness doesn't make you too indecisive. Listen to both of these whistles. You're listening for what you enjoy in a whistle. Not too loud, nice, beautiful, easy player, not an air hog. You could play expressively. You could, the same for the other. The Dominic's a good bit more quiet, but can be played. Yeah, two lovely whistles. Go back and listen to me playing them. Forgive my mistakes as I play. Just listen to the tone, and I tried to give it what I could there. I hope that's helpful, my friends. Until next time, this is Scott Shade. Happy whistling, and good luck whistle choosing.